They say one wrong move can ruin your life. For Emily Carter, it took less than 10 seconds. One accidental spill, one furious customer, and the only place she called home was gone. She had no family, no savings, and no idea that the very man who would later change her life forever was about to walk into her story and uncover a betrayal that would shock them both. Emily Carter was 24, quiet, and unshakably polite. Orphaned at 16, she had been working and living at Fresh Fold Laundry in the small city of Asheville, North Carolina. The arrangement was simple. She earned minimum wage, got a small cot in the back room, and in return, she worked 6 days a week washing, folding, and pressing clothes for people who barely noticed her existence. That morning, Emily sat on her cot eating instant oatmeal when her boss unlocked the front door. Their first customer, a woman in a designer yellow dress, stepped in. Emily, hurrying to the counter, didn't notice her until they collided, her plastic cup of water splashing directly onto the woman's expensive fabric. The woman's voice cracked like a whip. "Are you blind? Do you know what this dress costs?" Emily's apology tumbled out, but the woman stormed into the back office, demanding she be fired. Mr. Peterson, Emily's tired-eyed boss, tried to defend her, but the woman's next words made his shoulders drop. "My fiancé is one of your biggest clients. Fire her or I'm gone." 10 minutes later, Emily stood on the sidewalk with her single duffel bag. The laundry shop, her home, was no longer hers. As night fell, Emily wandered Asheville's quieter streets until she found an unfinished apartment complex. Slipping inside, she settled onto a concrete floor, pulling her thin blanket around her shoulders. The wind slipped through the open beams, but it was better than the sidewalk. At dawn, construction workers found her. One man, his voice gruff but not unkind, asked, "You lost?" I'm looking for work. I can do anything," Emily said. They exchanged glances. "This is heavy lifting. Not for women. I can handle it, please." An hour later, the site manager arrived, tall, neatly dressed in work boots, his expression unreadable. His name was Daniel Hayes, a well-known developer in the city. After hearing her out, he gave a curt nod. "You start tomorrow. If you can't keep up, you're gone." Emily worked harder than anyone expected. She carried bricks, mixed cement, hauled water, ignoring the ache in her arms and the heat of the Carolina sun. Within a week, she'd earned the respect of most workers. Then Daniel returned for an inspection and saw her. "Why is she doing this kind of work?" he asked the foreman. "She has nowhere to go. She's good, doesn't complain." Daniel frowned. "This isn't safe for her. End it." That afternoon, Emily was told she couldn't return. She packed her things in silence and found another abandoned building for shelter. A week later, Emily was walking along the side of the road when a black SUV slowed beside her. The tinted window rolled down, and Daniel's voice cut through the night. "Emily." She froze. "What are you doing out here?" "I have nowhere to go," she admitted. "Get in. You're not staying out here tonight." He brought her to his home, a sprawling white house on the edge of Biltmore Forest. But waiting inside was Vanessa Monroe, his fiancée, the same woman in the yellow dress who had gotten Emily fired. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. "Daniel, who is this?" "She's staying here. She'll help around the house," Daniel said. "In our house? That girl? You've lost your mind." But Daniel didn't back down. From day one, Vanessa made Emily's life a quiet hell. She criticized her cleaning, rationed her food, and made it clear she wasn't welcome. Emily endured it in silence, grateful to at least have a roof over her head. But Daniel started noticing. One night, he found Emily alone in the kitchen, staring at an empty plate. "Did you eat?" "No, sir." "Why not?" "Vanessa said I shouldn't touch the food." His voice hardened. "That ends now." Vanessa's retaliation came the next week. She burned a simple dress Daniel had bought Emily as thanks for her hard work. Emily said nothing. One afternoon, Vanessa called Emily into the living room, unusually sweet. "I've been too hard on you," she said. "Let's start fresh. Make me some ramen." Relieved, Emily cooked. Minutes later, Vanessa was screaming. "She tried to poison me." Daniel walked in, confused. Emily denied it, even took a bite from the bowl herself to prove it. Moments later, she collapsed, writhing in pain. At the hospital, Daniel reviewed the footage from his home security cameras. What he saw made his stomach turn. Vanessa sprinkling something into the noodles before Emily brought them over. When Daniel returned home, Vanessa was on the couch. Pack your things, he said coldly. You believe her over me? I believe the cameras. Leave now or I call the police. By morning, Vanessa was gone. Daniel visited Emily in the hospital. You didn't deserve any of this, he said. You once told me you wanted to finish your degree. I've already enrolled you back in school. Whatever you need, I'll make sure you have it. Emily's eyes filled with tears. I don't know how to thank you. You already have. You reminded me what kindness looks like. Over the months that followed, Emily healed, studied, and slowly began smiling again. Daniel found himself drawn to her warmth and resilience, feelings he couldn't ignore. One autumn evening, he confessed, I think I've fallen in love with you. Months later, in the middle of a small garden ceremony, Emily walked toward him in a simple lace dress, not the girl from the laundry shop anymore, but a woman who had survived, grown, and found love without ever losing her heart. Moral: this story reminds us that wealth doesn't define worth, and real love sees the soul, not the status. Kindness and perseverance can survive even the cruelest betrayals, and sometimes life's worst twists are just the first turn toward something better.